All right, again we divide. Okay, perfect. We divide, but I'll have to erase the work that I'm gonna do for question 3 to make space for question 4 as well. Like I said, I dedicated a single page, a single writing pad page for a single question. Now I have question 3 and question 4 on the same, dedicated to the same page. So question 3, trigonometry. I'm actually teaching pure maths and a little bit of technical mathematics. In pure mathematics, that's trigonometry. Okay, maybe let me say question 4 is more of the pure maths kind of trigonometry type of asking question. Maybe question 5 as well, but in pure maths we also don't have the inverse functions, right? So that's a little bit extra that you have, you guys. And then question 3, okay, question 3, now you won't find something like this. So what I'm trying to say with question 3 is that this is easy grab marks, easy marks to grab, right? You do substitutions for 3.1, then you punch that on the calculator, you round it off to 2 decimal places as stated on the instructions, unless maybe they asked you to round it off to 3 decimal places, but you just punch in the calculator, you round it off. Like for the 3.1, 3.1.1, okay, so therefore we got a cosec p multiplied by a tan q equals 2. Now remember, we don't have a button that is dedicated for inverse function, so I cannot punch cosec on the calculator. I'll have to use its inverse. In this case, the inverse for cosec is what? It's sine. Then we substitute p, that's 119, multiplied by tan q, that is 61 degrees. Then you consult your calculator. 1 over sine 119 multiplied by tan 61 degrees. Then I get a 2.06. That's 2 decimal places. And then we're gonna do the 3.1.2. So for that one we get a cos squared p plus 2q. So therefore we're gonna have a equal sign, a cos squared, and then p, it's 119. I thought it was 116. Then 2 multiplied by 61 degrees equals 2. Alright, on paper that's how you're gonna write it, but on the calculator this is how you're gonna do it. You first start by opening up a bracket, then you put in cos, and then another bracket. After pressing cos, it's going to be cos, open a bracket, then you punch in that 119 plus 2 times 61. You close the bracket inside, then you close the bracket that you opened initially, that was the bracket for the cos function. Then you square everything. I'm getting a 0.24. You should be getting a 0.24. Rounded off to 2 decimal places. Okay, like I said, on paper this is how you write it, but on the calculator you cannot punch in a cos squared then open a bracket like this. No, it doesn't work like that. You start off by opening a bracket on your calculator, and then you say cos. After pressing cos, automatically a bracket will open up, and then you're gonna say 119 plus 2 times 61, close bracket, then you close that bracket you initially opened, then you square, then you're gonna get that answer, right? You're gonna get that answer. So this and this, it's one and the same thing, but on the calculator this is how you punch it. All right, then we get 3.2 given where the theta, this angle, it's between 0 and 90 degrees. All right, show without the use of a calculator that sine squared theta plus cos squared theta is equals to 1. That's a Pythagorean identity, or the square identity for sine and cos. All right, that is true, but we have to show it. We have to show it. Now we can use a diagram for this. Let me show you what I mean by this. We have a 1 over 2 tan theta equals to 2. I divide by a half, or I can just simply multiply by the multiplicative inverse like this, so that the 2 cancels out the 2, the 1 and the 1 out. Then we're gonna be left with a tan theta equals to 4. Equals to 4. Therefore, through a diagram, this is what we do. Using a diagram, we can do this. Using a diagram, so since this tan is between, since the tan is between 0 degrees and 90 degrees, it means that the triangle with angle theta should exist in the first quadrant. Should exist in the first quadrant like this. And then we're gonna have a 90-degree angle, then we're gonna have theta, and then that 4, let's divide it by 1. Why are we dividing it by 1? So that we can have a fraction, since tan is a ratio. So based on that triangle, we know that tan, according to SOHCAHTOA, it's what? It's opposite, which is y, it's this, over adjacent, which is x. So x is equals to 1. The 1 is coming from there, and then y is equals to 4. The 4 is coming from there. That is why I had to divide by 1, so that I can have a ratio where the y will be assigned a value as well as the x can be assigned a value. What's missing now is the r value, the hypotenuse. We use Pythagoras theorem to work it out. So we're gonna say r squared is equals to x squared plus y squared equals to x, that's 1, y, that's 4, equals to r squared. So that's 1, is it 16? Yeah, that's 16. So 16 plus 1, that's 17, and then we're gonna have a square root of 17. So r is just gonna be the square root of 17 like this. So we have r as equals to square root 17. Now then it's time to calculate what? Sine squared theta plus cos squared theta. It's time to calculate this. So I'm just gonna say equals to sine, based on from SOHCAHTOA and that triangle. Sine, it's opposite over hypotenuse, so it's gonna be y over r squared plus cos, it's gonna be x over r squared like this, equals to, what is the y value? It's 4. R, it's square root 17 squared plus x that is 1 over r is equals to square root 17 as well, squared like this. Then we continue, 4 squared, that's 16, and then square root 17 squared, that's 17, plus 1 squared, that's 1, square root 17 squared, that's 17, equals to, the denominators are the same, it's not 77 but 17. The denominators are the same, we're just gonna add the numerators and take the common denominator. 16 plus 1, that's 17. 17 over 17, that is 1. We just proved that a sine squared plus a cos squared is equals to 1. Now it's time for solving for x. Solving for x. Solving x. 3.3 sine x is equals to tan 318 degrees. 318 degrees. Then we have a sine x that is equals to minus, no, it's negative because 318 it's in the fourth quadrant, so we have sine 318, bingo, that's 0, 9004 404 00 no, it's 0443, just 0443 443, there we go, 443. And then you now have a trigonometric ratio equal to some value. Then you can only calculate your reference angle this time. Okay, so therefore you're gonna say arc sine of this whole thing without the negative sign, of course. So it's gonna be 0,9004, so on and so forth. You just take the whole thing, shift sine of 0.9004 0443, close bracket, then you end up with a 62.21 in 2 decimal places, 64.21 degrees. That's your reference angle. Now we're gonna have solutions. We're gonna have solutions in two parts of the cast diagram, right? So cast says in the fourth quadrant cos is positive, in the first all of them are positive, in the second sine is only positive, in the third only tan is positive. So we are looking for the part of the graph. I mean, our solution is going to be found in two distinct places. We are looking for parts of the Cartesian plane or the cast diagram where sine is negative. It's where it's in the third quad and the fourth quad. So that means that's where our solutions are going to be. In the second quad, I have this reduction formula, 180 minus and 180 plus theta in the third, and here I have 360 minus theta. Therefore, where sine is negative, it's the third and the fourth quadrant. So in the third quadrant, this is going to be my solution. It's gonna be x equals to, in the third quad, that is 180 plus the reference angle, which is 64.21 degrees, equals to 180 plus 64.21. I'm getting a 244.21 degrees. And then in the fourth quad, I have x that is equals to 360 minus 64.21 degrees equals to 360 minus 64.21. Then we have a 295.79. There we go. 79. So these are the solutions for that equation. So that concludes question 3. Now we're going to jump to question 4, which is a bit more, should I say aggressive? Nah, I shouldn't. Okay, let me just erase and we'll do question